Louisville, home of the best scrapper, also home of the best rap.
You an American, right? You an American, right? Where was Manny Pacquiao?
What up, what up? You're watching Red Room Sports, home of Ali Land, Boxing Talk, the Louisville Cardinals Daily, and the Ghetto Angler Fishing only on the weekends. Alright, y'all, got some more news surrounding the career of Manny Pacquiao. Alright, the question today is, if Manny Pacquiao versus Conor McGregor happens, will Pacquiao be stripped of the WBA title? I just did a previous video regarding Manny Pacquiao's, I feel like what Pacquiao's intentions are for 2021 and beyond. And you want to check that out. It'll be in the cards, the first card you see, so check that out, man. But there's a situation going on with Manny Pacquiao regarding that WBA super title that he holds, and the WBA mandatory, who is Yordenis Ugas, because he holds the regular title. Now, the situation is Manny Pacquiao hasn't fought since July, I believe it was July of 2019. So it's been over a year since we last seen Manny Pacquiao, and since Manny Pacquiao's been in a boxing ring. Now, he's announced he wants to fight Conor McGregor. It's not official yet, but it's leaning toward it's going to be Conor McGregor. But I think it's only dependent on what's the WBA stance as far as the title goes. I don't think this is etched in stone yet. I think we're going to have to wait. Number one, I think Pacquiao's waiting to see how McGregor looks when he takes on, what is this guy's name? Poirier, Dustin Poirier. You know, I don't follow MMA like that, so I don't know all the guys who are fighting it within the MMA, but Conor McGregor takes on Dustin Poirier, and depending on, I'm guessing, how McGregor looks, if he wins, you know, there's a possibility he might lose. You know, this guy's not getting in there just to be a punching dummy, you know, so he's getting there to win the fight. So depending on whether McGregor wins or loses that fight, I think you're going to see Manny Pacquiao make a official statement after that on what his next plan is regarding his boxing career. So let's say McGregor fights Poirier but has a poor fight, he doesn't even look good, you know, then does that take some interest away from Pacquiao versus McGregor? I believe so. So I think Pacquiao would then have to make a decision. Okay, do I go with a Mikey fight because he's a ranked in the WBA, and you know it would be an easier fight than taking on Yordenis Ugas, or does he say, okay, well, I'll go ahead and take on you guys in April and as a tune-up, and then go fight Spence in the summertime? Now, let's say McGregor wins, he looks dominant in his fight, and Pacquiao decides, okay, you know, well, this is going to be a huge money fight now. McGregor won, he looked great, fans are engaged. I'm going to go fight McGregor in April of 2021 with all intentions of fighting Errol Spence Jr. in the summertime. But what if he decides to take that fight and the WBA decides, we're going to strip you because you've been inactive within our rankings for 2 years at that point. It would have been 2 years at that point. Does that take luster away from the Errol Spence Jr. fight? Does the Errol Spence Jr. fight even need to take place at that point? Because at that point, Yordenis Ugas becomes the dissolved champion, because they would have dissolved the super title. You guys would have got elevated up from regular champion to super champion, and he would be next on the table for Errol Spence Jr. Now, I'm pretty sure in Errol Spence Jr.'s mind, well, that's a simpler fight. You know what? I could just wait to say. I think that's why he said after he beat Danny Garcia I don't want to return to the ring until the summertime. I think he already knew all this in his mind. Like, okay, you know, the ball is completely in my court. I don't have to fight Terrence Crawford because I know he's not going to accept the 60-40 split. You know, I can just kick my feet up and relax. There is Manny Pacquiao out there, but what if Pacquiao gets stripped? You know, what then? What happens after that? I'm pretty sure he already knew, okay, well, Yordenis Ugas is the regular champion. They're going to elevate Yordenis Ugas if they strip Pacquiao because he's been inactive. So either Pacquiao can fight me under my terms, or he can get stripped, or perhaps the WBA, they're lenient to a Pacquiao. They don't strip him. Let's say they don't strip him, but what if they do strip him? You guys becomes the champion, and now Errol Spence ends up with an even easier fight and even more leverage and gets Terrence "Bud" Crawford. So, you know, it behooves Terrence Crawford at this point to step in and make a decision on where he's going to go with this. Terrence Crawford could either go, hey, I'm going to fight you guys next, to take the ball out of Errol Spence's court. Then that leaves Errol Spence either having to fight Thurman or Sean Porter, who's out there. And at that point, it leaves Pacquiao with his hands in the air. So if both of those guys want to collude and kind of phase Pacquiao out of the picture, because a lot of people feel like Pacquiao's holding up the unification fight because he is not making his decision. So, you know, there's a lot on the line depending on what the WBA says and what Pacquiao decides to do as far as this McGregor fight. I understand there's a lot of money involved, but he's going to be there. McGregor's not going anywhere. As long as he beats Poirier, there's always going to be that opportunity for you to fight McGregor. You don't have to do it first. So, you know, I don't even know where Pacquiao's going with this at this point because, you know, it looks like he's setting up for this McGregor thing, but either he's already talked to the WBA and knows that they're going to give him a bye with this McGregor fight as long as he fights Errol Spence in the summertime, which I think is what is going to take place. I think he's already talked to them and already has gotten the okay. Well, okay, if you fight McGregor as a tune-up and it has to be a sanctioned boxing match, we'll give you a bye for that one, and then you can go fight Errol Spence in the summertime for a unification fight. I think that's the way it's going to set up. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section. If Pacquiao fights McGregor, is that going to force the WBA to strip him of the super title? And is he making the right decision if he does decide to fight McGregor? Should the WBA strip him for inactivity? You know, let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about that, man. I think it's very interesting. I think, in my mind, that Pacquiao's going to be fighting beyond 2021 if he can continue to win. I think if he loses or if things get worse in the world, we might see Pacquiao have to be forced into retirement, which would be a shame. Hit that like button for me. Please subscribe. If you enjoy Red Room Sports, Ollie Land Boxing Talk, the Louisville Cardinals Daily, and the Ghetto Angler Fishing, you know, holler at me down in the comment section, man. Let's collab. Let's get something popping, man. I'm always down to collab with people willing to work. It's your boy Cardinal Red, and we are out of here.
You're an American, right? You're an American, right? Where was Manny Pacquiao?
Louisville, home of the best scrapper, also home of the best rapper.